Joining us now for his unique perspective, Jason Hauser, former chief of staff for ICE in the Biden administration. Jason, good morning. So you've called the current operations by the Trump administration volume and optics driven rather than driven by prioritizing public safety or actual criminal threats. So would you mind just right out of the gate expanding on that position, your views on this federal crackdown overall?
Yes, ma'am. I think, good morning. I think the first thing is we've seen this administration has had some successes expanding our border security and lowering the number of volumes of those coming to our border in those areas. But what we see now in this interior enforcement sort of program that they're running is specifically in Louisiana and Minnesota is just a continuance of what we've seen in Chicago and North Carolina and Louisiana, where we're seeing sort of the media blitz over top of the focus on those that actually have final orders of removal and over those that have, criminal convictions that actually are the backing away of targeting individuals that actually are, could be violent criminals and that put our communities at risk. When you hear the administration saying we're going to target 5,000 numbers, anybody would sort of question just sort of those general numbers of sort of this volume arrests over actually targeting those that have exhausted their pathways within the immigration system and or those that put at risk our communities. And additionally, you're seeing this sort of focus on arrests. And what the administration should be sharing is who's in detention, what is their criminal backgrounds, and what is the individual and who are the individuals that are being removed from the United States that make our communities safer.
So what do you say to the argument, if you're in the country illegally, you are breaking the law?
That's true. Under Title 8 in the immigration law, if you are here without status, you are here illegally. That doesn't make you one a convicted criminal, and that doesn't make you a threat to our community. And most importantly, for 40 to 50 years, we've had a broken immigration system that has, been carried out throughout multiple Republican and Democratic administrations. Millions of individuals have sought legal status and pathways to come into this country. Currently, this administration is stripping those away. So it's a bit hypocritical to say, these individuals are here now illegally, when 3 weeks ago you're stripping away their temporary protected status, you're stripping away their asylum status, you're pulling them out of the immigration system itself. What we need is the immigration to finally move away from this sort of fear and optics and this sort of media blitz showing the punitive nature of enforcement, which is actually breaking apart the relationships within federal law enforcement. What we need them to do is come to the American people with Congress and say, there's 14 to 15 million people that are within the immigration system. How are we going to move them through that system humanely? Those that have legal status and can gain benefits can stay and thrive in this country, and those that have exhausted those pathways can be humanely removed.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.